at a cool party, and this person had converted a room to make it look like the rainforest, like a Brazilian rainforest. And it had like Dolby 5.1 storm sounds and associated lighting. The lighting would change and stuff like that. And so in this dope room, and there's like people on all kinds of things. But I was like really high. I had a couple bumps, and then I had a 200 milligram lozenge, and I was with a friend of mine, Mason. And I sat cross-legged, and I put my hands like this, and I became a statue. I just froze.
When you're saying bumps, are you saying you're sniffing it?
Yeah, sniffing it, yeah. So, so like just like, a couple, 3 bumps or whatever, whatever the Coke variant, if you know Coke, what a bump is, it's about the same for ketamine. But I had one of those, and we had the lozenge kicked in, and we went deep into a K-hole. Interesting thing was, there was a guy, he's probably like 20 feet away. There's people talking all over the place, storm systems, all this stuff. I hear this little voice like through the storm and like in the distance going like, hey, if anybody's out there, I'm having a crazy trip right now. And I responded, I'm pretty sure this is real. I responded in the quietest voice. I was like, no, I can totally hear you. What's going on? We started having a conversation back and forth. And Mason can attest to it because he heard me talking. He's like, who were you talking to? I was like, I was talking to that guy over there. And it was a real conversation. I was like, how is this possible? How can I be having this super quiet conversation? It's almost like quantum tunneling or something like that with this person. And that's happened more than once. And where it's almost, I don't want to say telepathy. It's not telepathy, but I think that it is possible. I mean, they are producing sound, but maybe the brain is able to completely, like noise canceling, just take out all of the noise and focus on that voice. I've had weird telepathic stuff on it. That's why I'm interested in like doing more research in different states and seeing what results can be reproduced.
When they first discovered harmine, they tried to call it telepathine.
Really?
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, harmine is a MOA inhibitor that's a part of ayahuasca and many other. There was one that we talked about yesterday that Brian Murarescu brought up that was it was a harmine. What was it with, Jaimie? It was a lotus flower, right? That's what it was, right? That the ancient Egyptians used. It's an MAO inhibitor, so it stops monoamine oxidase in the gut, and that's what makes dimethyltryptamine orally active.
Oh, right.
And so harmine, when they first experienced these altered states, they were trying to isolate the compounds that were responsible for it, and one of them they decided was causing these telepathic experiences. And so they tried to call it telepathine, but because of scientific nomenclature, that had already been discovered as harmine, so it had already been labeled as harmine. So they kept it as harmine, but for a while they were calling it telepathine, because the people that were experiencing that were having these communications without words, and they were experiencing things in unison together. They were experiencing these visions that they felt like they were communicating with each other through this vision without talking.
I mean, I completely believe it. I mean, I've had too many incredible experiences on those types of, especially dissociatives. I mean, this is a different substance that we're talking about, but I've had experiences where I don't know what it is. Like, I've done crazy stuff where I don't have the greatest knees, and so I'm always, I'm careful of it. I'm on ketamine, and suddenly I'm like on the ground doing that duck walk or whatever, no problem.
You don't have the greatest knees in what way?
They're just not hot. No, I like hot knees, guys.
They're not sexy enough.
They're not sexy enough.
Maybe get them tattooed.
Yeah, that's true.